Hi, this is Robert Ballard from Retro Car Guy 530 LLC, and today I'm going to be taking you on a little trip into my garage using this MaxiCheck Pro diagnostic tool. And I've created a video before on this where I used it to perform an ABS bleed procedure on my 2004 Chevrolet SSR, and I'll put a link up on the video here so you can go check that out if you haven't already. But I'm going to be using this tool today to check the emission readiness of the vehicle, because in the next couple months there will be a California smog check required on the vehicle. So I just want to check it out, make sure there's no readiness monitors that I'm not aware are having a problem. They may not necessarily trigger a check engine light if they're not in a ready state. If they are for an extended period of time or they retest multiple times, that should throw a check engine light. So I haven't seen a check engine light yet, but I just want to make sure. I'll use this tool. I'll show you the screens that you go through to check that out. And after the intro and information disclaimer, I'll show you the MaxiPC Suite update process. Again, if you haven't seen that on the other video, I'll go through it here on this one again, just to make sure there's no more updates. And if there are, I'll apply them to the SD card, which in this particular device is down on the bottom here. So after the intro here, we'll go through how you do that. And thanks for coming to the channel. So let's get to checking out my SSR and see how ready it is for a smog check. Please review the automotive information, repair, and modification guidelines on this screen. Seek the advice of a repair professional if you're unsure how to perform any repair or modification safely and correctly. All repairs and modifications are performed at your own risk. The MaxiCheck Pro has a SD card at the base of the device, which stores the software used on it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take this out and insert it into a USB device to plug into my computer, because I don't have a card reader for this particular one on this computer that I'm using. So you push on it and it unsnaps and you pull it out. And I'm going to take a USB 3.0 card reader and just push it into there in that, and then I'm going to plug it into the computer. And after this, I'll switch over to the computer screen where you can see me running the MaxiPC Suite software, which I believe I have version 1.24 on the computer. I also have a Maxi TPMS device which caused me to upgrade the software, so that's the current version of the MaxiPC Suite software. We'll go through the update process, see if there's any updates, and after that, then we'll go out to the garage and see what it looks like on the screens here. Hopefully I can get proper lighting. The screen has a lot of glare on it, so I'll do my best to minimize that so you can see the screens as clearly as possible. But let's get to it. I've inserted the USB adapter for the SD card, and I have that mounted as drive D. As you can see on the screen, I'll be blurring out the actual serial number. It displays the drive letter, and then it has a serial number for your device. So I'll be blurring that out, so you don't need to see mine, but you should see yours there if you're mounting it that way. And of course I have my login information, which I'll be blurring out as well. But you need to log in and have your account set up on the Autel support website. So I have that information in the review of this device, so I'll put a link in the video, as I mentioned in the intro, so you can go check that review out if you haven't seen that already. So let's go ahead and log in. And since I now have multiple devices associated with my Autel account, it's asking me which of the devices I'm working with. And today I am working with the MaxiCheck Pro. And of course the serial number prompt here is going to be blurred out on the screen, but you should see the serial number for your device, which matches the serial number over on the side here. And it's checking for any updates, and looks like we do have a few updates since my last update of this device. Looks like most of them are related to non-North America manufacturers. I don't see anything related to GM, but we'll go ahead and we'll click on Select All, which will select all those updates, and then I'll click on Update Selected. It will begin downloading the particular updates and then installing them. And I'll fast forward through this portion of the video, and when it's done, we'll resume the audio. Alright, all the updates have been installed. So if we scroll through this, we can see there's ABS SRS updates, diesel particulate filter, electronic parking brake updates, oil resets, and steering angle sensor, if I recall correctly. So with that, we'll go ahead and just click refresh just to make sure that everything that it's downloaded is not requiring an update of anything else. No updates available. So now if we go look at installed, we'll see the versions that are installed of everything, including when they were last updated. You can see some were updated in May, some were updated in July, back when I last updated this, and then some from today. So with that, we have all the latest software on here. So I'm going to exit the program since all the updates are processed by this already. So let's click that, and then we'll successfully unmount the USB device so we properly flush out the contents. And usually you'll go into File Explorer, right click on that and click on Eject. So with that, let's go out to the car. I now have the MaxiCheck Pro that I just updated the software on that you saw on the other Windows 10 PC where I updated the software on the SD card. I have that SD card reinserted. I have the unit connected to the OBDII port on my vehicle. So the cable that connects to the top of the MaxiCheck Pro is connected. The two retention screws are fully screwed in, so that's a good connection on the top. I've run the cable down to the OBDII port, which on the Chevrolet SSR is on the left side of the steering column underneath the dash, and that's what's actually supplying the power to the device, so that's why we have the screen here. And with that, I now am going to initiate the test for going to the OBDII screen. So you need to have the vehicle with the ignition in the run position, so I've inserted the key, went to the accessory, and then the run position, but without starting the engine. And we're going to press the OK button on the keyboard, and it's now going to go in and check which protocol is in use on the data bus. And it should be the SAE J1850 VPW for the Chevrolet SSR, and it's detected that protocol. It's showing the vehicle info, the manufacturer, year, and VIN, which I'll blur out that VIN. You don't need to see that. And here is the actual screen that I'm going for in this particular video, because I'm checking for the readiness of this vehicle for a smog check. There's a visual component to it, which the smog check station will go through, and then they'll also go through and plug into their OBDII testing device into the vehicle and look pretty much for the same information right here. We're looking for the mil status or the check engine light, which is off. If you have a check engine light on and you go for a smog check, you will immediately fail the test. So it's off. It has found 0 stored codes in this vehicle. The monitors here are the readiness monitors that the vehicle periodically runs to make sure various emission systems are running correctly and there's no problems found. This particular vehicle does not implement 3 of them, so there are 3 that are not available on this vehicle. It will vary depending on the vehicle make and manufacturer. The monitors that are in the OK state are 7, and then we have monitors that are incomplete of 0. And the main things looking for here is the engine check light is off, there are 0 codes found, and there are 0 monitors in an incomplete state. You can have up to 1 readiness monitor in an incomplete state. There are some variations to that rule. They've gotten a little more complicated over the last couple of years, but in most cases a EVAP test readiness monitor can be incomplete on a GM vehicle, because I've actually taken this vehicle for a smog check with it in an incomplete state because I either pulled the battery, cables off, or some other process, repairing something, or I've reset something or updated some settings in the ECU, and the reset procedure will reset all the readiness monitors, and the EVAP test on the Chevrolet SSR takes a really long time to get just the right conditions to have it perform that test. So I've had to go to the smog check station with that still incomplete.
But so that's what I've been mainly looking for here. So let's go and see if there's any more codes in some other subsystems here. So let's press OK. And so that was the system status screen that we were in. I'm going to scroll down to read codes. And the stored codes we already saw on the other screen was 0, but let's go ahead and check again by clicking here. And no stored codes found. So let's press any key. And now we're going to check pending codes, which it shouldn't find any either. And those are the codes that haven't been present long enough or haven't repeated enough times before they become a stored code. And so there are none of those in the system at this point. So let's press escape. And let's go take a look at the other things you can see here. You can erase codes, look log live data, look at freeze frame data. Let's look at those readiness monitors and comprehensive component monitoring, catalyst monitoring. Heated catalyst monitoring is not available. Evaporator system monitoring, that's the one that usually takes a bit of time to get to work. Secondary air system monitoring, not available. So you can see which ones are okay and which ones are not available on the vehicle by going into the this particular screen. And now let's press escape here. And you can do some other tests with this as well, but that's not the focus of this particular video. And do some individual component tests. You can get some vehicle info and what modules are present in the system. And if you do have a DTC, you can actually do a lookup of what the generic definition of that might be. And then we've wrapped around to the beginning of this. So I'm going to press escape. And I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to go to the top level here. I'm going to check our ABS and supplemental restraint system, or the airbag system. So let's go check USA. GM. And we have to scroll through the years to get down to the right one. I turned off the beep setting on each key press, which you can see would be quite annoying. And we're a light duty truck for the Chevrolet SSR. And again, scroll down to the SSR. And it's looking, let's look for any trouble codes. No fault codes found. Supplement. Let's do trouble codes, read codes. Fault codes found or detected. So with that, I'm going to exit out to the main menu at the very top again. So this device has pretty much told me that there's no detected problems with this vehicle. The readiness of the readiness monitors for the ones that are present in the vehicle, they're all okay. The malfunction indicator lamp is off. The or check engine light, everything is indicating I should pass a smog check for this particular vehicle in California. The other test here, the battery maintenance system, I don't have that system on a GM. The diesel particulate filter doesn't apply. I don't have an electronic parking brake. The oil reset could be used on this vehicle. I just recently changed the oil, but I used the driver information center process to reset that, which is fairly straightforward. And the steering angle sensor, I don't have the electronic steering component here on this vehicle to work with and setup and playback of any log data. So with that, I think I'm ready to conclude this video. I've shown you the things I've been checking before I take a vehicle in for a smog check. I did have another video that showed this with a different device, but I wanted to show you on the MaxiCheck Pro you can do the exact same thing. So with that, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, it does require that you have a Google account of some sort before you can subscribe. Those are free and there's no cost to you to subscribe to my channel. And with that, please check out my other videos, and thanks for coming to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.
If you like this video, smash that like button. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.